we need to have the right people on our team when we need them. And I've always wanted to have those good people that I knew, liked, and trusted to work with.
So you jumped in doing wholesaling? Was that your first move?
I did, yeah. So I always kind of view myself as being a weird investor. I've always kind of gravitated towards the things that I don't think a lot of people are doing. So I specifically wholesale vacant land. I was seeing all these people talking about the houses and talking to sellers that were having 6 postcards show up a week in their properties and stuff. And I was like, I didn't know exactly at that time how to differentiate myself to get these deals, right? And I saw and heard really no one talking about vacant lands. Right. And where we grew up, from 2000 on, my parents, we had 58 acres there. And so we were doing land use management for growing trees and stuff on there. So I had some knowledge on that. And then I just started working with builders as my end buyers. And so they, talking with them, I could kind of see how they viewed land and how they valued it and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so it was good.
You mentioned you're working with builders and you learn from builders. You do have a background in working with land to some capacity. How else did you learn about, because I think a lot of people don't do that because it's in my opinion, a lot more complicated than wholesaling just properties,
yeah,
right?
Land's weird, yeah.
So many different aspects to it that you need to know to make sure you're getting a good deal or it's buildable or, just whatever zoning requirements. There's just so much to it. Yeah. How did you learn, were you listening to podcasts? Were you reading books? Did you join meetup groups or anything like that? How were you learning how to do this?
Yeah, a lot of podcasts. Admittedly, I don't read a lot with 3 kids and run around and stuff. I just don't have a whole lot of sit down time. So a lot of podcasts, articles and stuff. Definitely meetup groups and just talking to people. The big one, I joined the Fredericksburg Area Builders Association. So I'm actually, I stuck around long enough and hung out. They put me on the board. So awesome. That's been good relationships there. But yeah, just talking with builders and, finding the ones that are willing to sit down with me and look at a piece of property and tell me how they're viewing it. And once you do something long enough, right, you kind of get that base knowledge set. Right. And land isn't, it can be complicated, but the base set of stuff, right, you go look at the county ordinances and the zoning regulations, you can read what you can do with the land, right? It's not too bad, but yeah, it is a different knowledge set, yeah.
So when you're asking builders to come join you or at least maybe not even physically join you, but just look at this, piece of land and provide feedback on it or, provide some sort of insider advice, you have to have relationships to be able to do that, or you have to add value in some way to be able to do that. So did you have how were you building those relationships? And then was there any incentive for them to help you, such as I will sell you this land so you can build on it, any deals like that?
Building those relationships is something that building relationships in general is something that I feel like I've gotten decent at over the years. And I think in our industry and a lot of industries, people in general, relationships are critical. We need to have the right people on our team when we need them. And so my goal at most times, but especially for this type of work, right, I've always wanted to have those good people that I knew, liked, and trusted to work with. I just start talking to everyone about what I'm doing and seeing who's on board.
Right.
You get knowledge that way. You get to learn about the people around you. And the meetup group helps a ton with that too, right? You get to see who's there, who's consistent, who's honest, right? That's one of the big things, who you want to work with.
Right.
And so that's kind of how I build the relationships. And then the incentive piece, for the builder's perspective, if they have someone like me that's either connected to wholesalers or was being a wholesaler or, finding those deals for them, a lot of them don't have time or want to do that. They want to build houses. And so if they can build a relationship with someone that is bringing consistent deal flow and is willing to learn and find deals within your buy box and perspective and stuff, it's advantageous for them.
Right.
And they'll probably get a better deal if I have a relationship with them and I find a good deal. I'm not going to put it out as maybe a retail wholesaler price for them.
Right. Yeah, and it's built-in buyers. When I first got into investing, I really appreciated the first-time wholesalers. Once I knew enough, I was able to guide them on what was a good deal and what wasn't a good deal and what they should look out for when they were wholesaling properties. but it's like a built-in buyer for them, because if they were able to lock down that deal, then I could buy it and be sure to work in their wholesale fee, whatever they felt they wanted on that property.
Absolutely.
But we would work closely together, and then they knew, like, as soon as they locked it down, they had a buyer, so they didn't have that concern.
Right.
Where, like, if you're working directly with builders and they're saying this is a good deal, this is what you can do, this is, you know, what value would be attractive, then you just got to get it under contract. I mean, assuming again they're good, ethical people,
right?
Like, and they know what they're talking about. You get it under contract, and that thing is like, you're just pushing it away to the builders.
Yep.
Which is then strengthening the relationship, and you just keep doing that.